What's up, guys? Back at it with a second video recapping an RTN that I played and made top 8 on with Vynnset. Um, this was a really fun event. I hadn't played Vynnset in a while, and my friend is getting really big on it, so I kind of have been returning to Vynnset to help bounce ideas for him. And so this deck list is really modeled off of kind of what he's been doing. It was a lot of fun. I played 5 rounds of Swiss. I won all 5, but I conceded to my friend in round 2. And then in top 8, I had a close but not so close game where I played pretty poorly, I think, against Viscerai. Congratulations to my friend Adnan for getting his invite. Yeah, so I just figured I'd talk about this. Deck is super fun. It's feeling really powerful. I think I played a little different than some other people. So, talk about the cards. Least favorite card in the game, Tunic. I hate this card, but it's good. It's just like so uninspired. I really wish there was a more exciting chess piece to play for Runeblade. Ebb and Fold, just because if there's a road Kano, like we got a few in the area, losing the Kano makes me so mad. This feels like it gives me so much percentage points. Or like if I play against an Acilio and he wants to Mind Warp me, I just hold it for that. It's pretty good. Reaping Blade, another card out of spite. I hate getting fatigued as Vynnset. So if I can take a strategy into like Count Your Blessings deck where I make them IP themselves a bunch, because I just like keep taking damage until I'm ready to like pop off, I'm going to play that card. Then I play Flail and Grimoire. This is just like AB. I don't think I ever make the Eloquence token. It's cool that it's an option, but I just don't. The Flail is super good, except in some matchups you don't play a lot of Go Again. But this can be very good into the Illusionists too. You can pop like attack auras. You can use this, play one of the instants to make your Rune Chant unpreventable. It's just very good. This is a build that's on Quill Hand every matchup. I think with Malefic's coming out, my love of Grasp has gone down significantly. This card is like super powerful, just like a one-time get out of jail free. Dyadic, just in the matchups where I have to be really defensive, I think this is good. This is once again just like so powerful in long matchups, but I hate running it. I like the extra health. I don't know, the chest slot is just so mid. Creepers is crazy, especially because of Vynnset's hero text. You can like guarantee have it around for a lot of turns. It's just super powerful. And then this list, only playing Face Purgatory to make space. Face is definitely the worst in Vynnset out of like all the Runeblades in my opinion. Your hand is like, she's such a finicky deck and you're constantly battling with it. That like the exact context of your hand is so important. But when this lines up, it's just like objectively broken, in my opinion. So I was just trying to run exclusively that card. Get this. Going to the reds. I played 3 Eloquent Eulogy. Once again, I feel like this deck is so powerful, and you're just battling the deck itself to like control that power. That while I think there are other options that can go in this slot, like for example, I don't play Deathly Delight. You could just play that for increased power, or if you're really like chance stacking, you could even play like Phantom Banshee here. But I just value the fact that like it's one of my few 1-card plays, and like there are times where the token it makes can be really powerful. You got the 6 attack ones that cost 2. This is just vanilla, but at least it's a popper. Good rate. This card, with all the Malefics and stuff, you can really aggressively banish. And with some other cards, like, what is the name? I should know the name of this card. With the addition of Cole, you have more high roll potential. Like, this card, it's better with actually using its effect now. But yeah, vanilla 2 cost 6, also good. Best card in your deck, I play the Rainbow. Just like, once again, this deck is so powerful, and your only real restriction is having Rune Chance. So cards that say give you Rune Chance are just like so strong. But that's the end of the red attacks. Then probably the best card in your deck, Shadow Puppetry, lets you do these massive turns, threatens an on-hit that draws you a card a lot of times, turns on the Vintext, puts stuff at a breakpoint. I mean, you can even just like YOLO sometimes, like these two. If they let this hit and you just happen to hit like another attack that you can send, it's just so disgusting. Cole is obviously the new addition. This card really feels like you're cheating sometimes. Like, if people don't play around this properly, and like sometimes, why would you? There's only 3. Like, you have to take the risk as the opponent, but like you can just blow people out. Like, there's times where like I've seen an Azalea, 2 cards in hand, pitch to load Death Dealer, and I've already taken damage on like a Bolton shot earlier. Just like hit him with Cold or turn ends. I just loaded something else into my Banish. You can stockpile these in your Banish, eating some Blood Debt against like Count Your Blessings decks. And then when you do that and you finally have a big pop-off turn, you can, like use your hand loaded into your Banish while also making it so they can't block you. It's just like super good. This card, having more Shadow non-attack actions make Tear Through the Portal better. It's just super powerful. I like playing 3 Funeral Moon because, once again, it just feels like a cohesive piece, allows you to high roll off of your Banish effects. It is a 1-card play. It helps you if you have to do like a chance stacking tactic. It's still just a 3 block. Into new, you can block with this, and it's just like keeping your card. My very favorite card in Vynnset is Putrid Stirrings. People don't play this, but it's like when you banish this, it's like putting another rune gate in my opinion, that doesn't require your action point. Also can enable Vynnset's text, and it's just like, really the action point thing is so crucial, and I think this deck can struggle into decks that want to block you out. So just like storing power like this for a massive turn is so valuable. If I were to play this again, I would go back to 3. I just love this card. And then you have Malefics, which are insane, and Dirge. Also, just like ending on a rune chain is so incredibly powerful. And then this card just allowing you to like 2-card 9 or 10 people is really crazy when you're playing mid-range. Both of these cards I don't think you could ever cut. So that's the reds. Yellows, you have Destruction, right? Vynnset is crazy because she does like such high damage, and then also has 9 disruptive effects. And this being one of them is super powerful. Like, banishing the arsenal is just, it's just so good. Right? The copies of Whale, I described this earlier, best card. Then you have Succumb, which is just so gnarly. Getting to choose what gets discarded can just like completely end their turn, giving you an action point. They got to play around this a lot. It still blocks for 3. It's just so good into aggressive decks. And then I only played 2 Malefics. This card probably should be at 3, but just for space, I wanted to try 2. And once again, it's even at the lower rate of yellow, it's still just so nice that you can have so many hands where it's like, in these matchups where you want to play like for big pop-off turns, you can just 2-card, like have this and the Blood Debt card, banish that, play this. You've actually like progressed the game state pretty nicely. Then onto the blues. I really like this card. A lot of people play like Deathly Delight in this slot. I think that losing 1 point of damage to have a full blue in your deck, especially when I like cards like Putrid, I think it's very valuable to be able to hardcast some of your other cards. Like, if you... I mean, you can just have hands that are like this, blue, Puppetry, and Whale or something, and you banish this, send it off of the Puppetry, hardcast this. Or you could have like a 2-cost, you just banish the 2-cost, hardcast this with Puppetry, break the chain, send the 2-cost. It's just like so powerful. I like having blues a lot, and I think losing 1 point of damage for a full resource card is just like really good. Delight was like not impressing me at all. Then for the rest of my blues, you have Whale. Once again, best card. Annihilation. is clunky. Make sure you take this out versus new. I forget that sometimes, and then I want to die. And I do. But it's just, once again, another like disruption piece. It's also just a blue 3 block is awesome. And then a blue 3 block Source of Go again. Very powerful card in Machinations. So those are the cards I'm pretty much playing in every matchup. Maybe not Succumb. But for the sideboard cards, play 3 Reduce. Shout out to Aaron for helping me get rid of my foils so I don't have those Pringles. These were like the worst foiled cards I've ever seen. Card's awesome. It's like a 1-card 5, but the Rune Chant might even count as more value. And especially when you have all the Malefics now, it's really easy to make sure this stays online if you play like with this actively in your mind. Also, look at these gross sleeves. Haunting Rendition is like, once again, it can make the Rune Chant when you need it, especially because you don't have like Grasp anymore. It helps against these Flick Knives decks. It just blocks for 4. Obviously can be a little clunky, but super powerful effect. Syncflow, I play this over Shelter. I talked about it a little if you watch my Fang video. I really value with like synergy decks like this the ability to try to bail yourself out of a bad hand. You can get a ton of rate out of fixing it, and this is just so much better from the arsenal. And I kind of feel like you have a good Syndra matchup anyway, so I didn't really want Shelters. Alright, I played 2 Beseech. This card, my friend is really high on. In practice for me, I've never been impressed. I can see why it's super powerful, but I don't know. It just like doesn't jive with me. I need to test it a lot more. It's never the worst, but I'm never like, oh, thank God, here's Beseech. Tear Through the Portal. I think this card is super cool. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible for me. I really think the interaction targeting your Shadow non-attack actions, like Funeral Moon or Cull, is very interesting about this card. It's just like the worst version of Puppetry, but it's still like Puppetry is your best card, so a worse Puppetry is pretty good. Oblivion, some people don't like this card. I once again think one of your biggest problems is decks that want to block you out. So having a card like this is hilarious. Just like some big dumb idiot that you slap them with. If people don't kill it for whatever reason, you get incredible value. I have a hard time resolving this. Part of the reason I think it's hilarious is because like I feel like there's no other card in the game where I need to resolve Rune Chants like 1 by 1. So I don't know the best way to verbalize that without just completely saying like, hey, by the way, I'm going to play Oblivion this turn. Right? Because like for my advantage, I want them to go through and consider pitching cards, because if they pitch cards because they're like, holy shit, there's a million Rune Chants, and they pitch too many cards, then when I finally get to 6 and play this, they might not have the cards to answer it. So yeah, if anyone has suggestions, maybe leave them in the comments. But I'm always like, can we resolve Rune Chants 1 by 1? And they look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, just do it. All right. But yeah, Oblivion, very good. Summon your demon. Then I played this little package that my friend Jeff swears by. It wasn't terrible. I just don't love it. I don't know. I see the power. Tutoring is always good in card games. But like part of me just thinks Vin wants the actual printed value of the cards. But maybe I'm just being foolish. I would just encourage you to try this yourself. It wasn't bad, wasn't great. And then played 2 Envelops. I like this because your Tunic kind of feels like it goes unused. Just more outlets. Once again, Rune Chant's good. Lets you play the game. This card was awesome. I love it. But yeah, that's my deck. I guess I can go over the rounds really quick. Round 1, I played against a bye. That's why I couldn't remember. So I got the bye. That stunk. Then round 2, I get paired into my friend Jeremy. He's on Enigma. We have a pretty cool game. I think he starts with like maybe like an 18-point life lead. And he's just like smacking me up. It was pretty brutal. But yeah, I managed to actually turn that one around into his Enigma, but he didn't have his national invite, so gave him the win. My next round I play into Kasai. Technically I'm at 1-1. This Kasai player, I would say made some questionable decisions and kind of got these hands. So I went to 2-1. Then I played against. Wow, it's rough to give a recap when you can't remember the rounds. I know one of these rounds I played against Arachne Marionette, so I'm going to say it was this round. Yeah, alright, so it was Arachne Marionette. It was the same guy that I played against as Fang. He really just got like the bad end of some coals, and I was just exploding damage on like all over him. It felt pretty bad. And his deck is low on blue, so it's kind of like true damage coming from all angles, like super above rate. If he banishes stuff, a lot of times it's just like, I don't care. Yeah, it was not the best for him. And then from there, I went on to play Luke, who was on Prism, and I don't think he really knew how to play the matchup. That game was kind of a beating too, but also Vynnset has a really good Prism matchup in my opinion. And then, like I alluded to earlier, I go into top 8, played against my friend Adnan. Adnan beats me. We both had like the slowest, clunkiest first 3 turns, and I think I played too many defensive cards with like not being current enough on that matchup. So there's a lot of stuff I would change. I also played Dyadic because I was on the draw. I think I should have just been on Tunic and tried to actively beat the crap out of him. But yeah, good on Adnan. Congrats to getting his invite. And yeah, that this video will wrap up my, I guess, summary of that weekend. This deck's very fun. I'd give it a try. Yeah, thank you for watching. And if you got feedback on how I should go about resolving Oblivion, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.